Hey guys, it's a beautiful sunny day finally. The ground has dried up enough for us to be able to get back into our garden. And if you remember when we made our own salad in our last video, we had a very weedy garden. Take a look at it now. My sweet darling spent the morning out here with the tiller and the tractor yesterday trying to get rid of some of those weeds. I think he did a pretty good job, don't you? You bet he did. So now that we've gotten rid of some weeds, I'm going to hill the potatoes for just a bit while I wait for the fellas to get up here. And then we're going to plant some pumpkins. We plant the pumpkins a lot later than we do the rest of the garden. If we had planted them a month ago when we planted the rest of the garden, they would have gotten ripe too early. Much too early for Halloween. We wouldn't be wanting to carve jack-o'-lanterns in the middle of the summer. Pumpkins typically take about 3 months to grow, to ripen. So today is pumpkin planting day here at Hickory Creek Farms, and I thought you might like to enjoy watching. Till they get up here though, we're going to do a little hilling of our potatoes. I might have waited a little too long, but after we work the ground, the potatoes are on your right up here with all those white blooms on it. And it's good to hill them, to throw some dirt up on them, because the potatoes grow underneath the ground. And if they are not fully covered with dirt as they grow, they sunburn. So we like to hill the potatoes, throw dirt up on top of the plant. So that's what I'm going to do while I wait for the fellas to get here. Woo, I'm a bit winded, but I am going to take time to hill the onions just a bit. The onion grows underground too, so I don't want them to sunburn, so I'm going to throw some dirt up around the plant while I still wait for my fellas to come. Then I'll probably pull a few weeds that the tiller missed. But we'll get to those pumpkins real soon. Well, my sweet darling made it out here, and he is right now digging a trench with a big wheel so that we can plant our pumpkins in the bottom of that trench. So we're going to let you watch him. This is an old big wheel. It's planted a lot of crops in its day, but it's kind of obsolete now. They don't use them much anymore. So here we go. Let's dig that trench. Notice he's got his legs spread far apart. Once he digs that trench, he doesn't want to step in it. That packs the ground down again, and then that's not good to plant our pumpkins in. So we typically plant our pumpkins the end of May to the middle of June, so that they'll be ready, those jack-o'-lanterns will be ready to carve in the fall. We are planting 2 kinds of pumpkins today. There are different varieties. And we have chosen for our regular size jack-o'-lantern pumpkins, Aries and Rhea pumpkins. And they typically run 20 to 30 pounds. So we're planting those today, and we try to buy seeds that are powdery mildew resistant, because powdery mildew is a big problem with pumpkins, and it kills the plant and it rots the pumpkins. So these are powdery mildew resistant seeds. They're not perfect, but they're a whole lot better than not. So we're going to get started, and we're going to plant these about a foot apart. One thing we might mention too, we don't plant them very deep, just maybe an inch below the surface of the ground, and we just barely cover them up with dirt. Might mention too that instead of bending over to plant each seed a foot apart, we're going to use this little tool that we've made out of PVC pipe and a funnel. You just plant your seed by dropping the seed through here in the spot where you want it to go, and then move it another foot and move it another foot. That way you don't have to bend over all the time. It's a little trick my dad taught me many years ago. We've got all the seeds in the ground, and we had enough room to plant some mini pumpkins. Mini means small, about the size that would fit in your palm of your hand. So we went ahead and planted some of those, some white ones and some orange ones, and maybe some stripes. And we also planted some gourds. Gourds are kind of like cousins of the pumpkins. They grow well with pumpkins, and they make a fall arrangement real nice. This is what a pumpkin seed looks like. I forgot to show you that. See that? They don't grow blue. The seed company puts that protective coating on the seed. And it's always a good practice to wash your hands good after you handle these seeds. So let's take a look at them to see what they look like in the ground. After we get all those seeds laying in the trench, the next step is to cover them up. And remember, we're only going to put about an inch of dirt on the top. You put them too deep and they won't sprout. And then we're going to finish up by running a heavy tire over the top of those pumpkins, those covered up pumpkins. We have found that a firmly packed seed bed is much more likely to sprout than if the dirt is very, very loose. So that's what we're up to. When you see that big tire come out, we're packing the soil for the seeds to have a better growing condition to sprout. Doesn't that look nice? There is nothing like the look and the smell of a fresh worked patch of dirt. Ah, lovely to a farmer's eyes.